Hello, and have we got some crypto news for you? That's right, Ripple has brought a New York crypto trust company. Now, this is on the heels of their last purchase's CEO stepping down, and that would be Matako. I don't know if this is like damage control or if they're just planning to expand in the United States. I'm going to guess the later one because remember, they did do an announcement a few days or a few weeks ago that says now that they've won the SEC lawsuit, that they're going to expand within the US and there are people interested. So, they actually they bought this company called New York Crypto Trust Company to expand US options. This is on the heels of them getting a lot of licenses. So it's called Standard Custody and Trust Co., which has a New York charter, and they probably bought the company largely for the charter. That will be the latest acquisition to grow Ripple's regulatory qualifications. Ripple's acquisition plan to grab a company with New York Trust charter will expand the business it's allowed to conduct in the US, potentially letting it move beyond its well-known role as payments network. So they should have other plans that are going along with it. This is by Cointelegraph, CoinDesk, and a lot of other sources. The deal, Ripple's second recent purchase of custody business, must still be approved by the New York regulator. New York licenses are hard to get, so spending a lot of money to get one of these companies that already has a license might actually be a very, very good deal. And of course, they did it to expand their US regulatory licensing. And of course, this case, I think people are still going on and on about the SEC case, but the main part of that case is one. XRP is not a security, so Ripple is really trying to expand in the US. There have been a lot of voices of dissent, and rightfully so, within the XRP community, because it has been 6 years since the price has actually done very much, hasn't hit an all-time high in that time, and people, after the lawsuit kind of mostly concluded in July, they were expecting some kind of a price movement. They got a little bit, but now it's actually gone back down, and many people are having a lot of questions. So I think they're expanding the business, hoping to push the uses of XRP, but if it's within the United States, it's probably just going to be their kind of messaging system. And of course, the community is starting to begin torn because people are tired of waiting after so long because they really expected that if it's the only so-called asset with regulatory clarity that it should go up, but it hasn't really happened this way. We want to offer more and more of these infrastructure pieces to these financial institutions, said Ripple President Monica Long in an interview with CoinDesk. We see this as giving us a lot of flexibility. Obviously, this is good for the company. If they can sell their software more, it could be laying the groundwork for future pumping with the XRP token itself. They didn't actually disclose the terms, and they're still waiting for new approval from the New York Department of Finances, adds a crypto custody and settlement business to Ripple's stable. That doesn't mean stablecoin, that just means their arsenal. That would let customers maintain custody with Ripple instead of having to go with an outside partner. Remember, they kind of bought Matako kind of for the same reason. They didn't actually buy PolySign and stuff like that. But Matako, I think, is more for international, where this is more for United States. They do believe it's possible in the United States to emerge as a leader in driving innovation. I think they're going for custody now because I don't think their bank transfer being the world's bridge currency is really working out all that well. You see Ripple making a lot of different moves these days. Especially with David Schwartz and the AMMs and stuff. And this with buying custody solutions. They're definitely trying to expand their business. And I think they're trying to get somehow use for XRP. Although I don't really know how they would actually help XRP with this kind of purchase with custody, but they'll probably figure it out or something. I don't really believe this will actually pump up the price of the token in the short run or the long run, as this doesn't really seem to combine with the bridge currency business. And custody is basically holding crypto in reserve for people. Maybe they want to hold their own XRP. I'm not really sure, but the US is a major market. And the thing is bullishness for Ripple often leads to bullishness for XRP. So not exactly a bad acquisition, but it really won't affect things in terms of XRP price in the short or middle run. Maybe in the long run it'll actually help, but then you are speculating on a lot. And of course, this is one of the acquisitions of custody since last year. And hopefully this one will actually bring some results. I mean, this kind of stuff may actually get people pumping it in the bull market, but right now it has had no effect whatsoever. And we have a question is this bull run going to be bigger than the last one? I do believe it has the possibility of being bigger than the last one, mainly because we won't have this giant inflation thing coming up. Now, we're not going to get the start that we actually got last time because we won't have the stimulus, but the ETFs might actually just substitute for that. And the ETFs are a much longer term thing than the stimulus. And we actually looked at several like ETF AUMs. And, they're ranging in the hundreds of billions of dollars. And that's based on how BlackRock and Fidelity has actually started with the value of their AUMs soaring super, super, super high within the first month. According to that chart, we should get hundreds of billions of dollars on each of BlackRock and Fidelity within the first couple of years. And that could really, really bump us up in terms of like how much money is actually coming into crypto. So like that's why I think 150K, because there'll be like tens, if not hundreds, probably hundreds of millions of billions of dollars, locked up in crypto, locked up in Bitcoin, which means those Bitcoin will not be available on the market. You have a supply of roughly 20 million right now. You got to take out maybe like a third of the supply is being lost forever, including Satoshi Nakamoto's wallet, obviously. And then you actually have to, then you really have to see what's actually going on with BlackRock and Fidelity with another couple hundred billion. So the amount on the exchanges is getting smaller and smaller, and that's going to have a sizable impact on the buy and sell orders. Obviously, the less the exchanges have, the more competition there will be. Obviously, you throw in shorts and futures, and that always kind of like throws things for a loop. But realistically, you have to consider like just the 20-30% decrease in supply this time around, plus the halving will get like less supply coming in, and we could be going for a super large pump. Now, like last time, we roughly went 3.5x of the previous time. And at this time at 3.5x, we would actually be getting over $200,000. Now, just based on ETFs, I do not think that will happen. I don't think they'll pump enough money, even with the hundreds of billions of dollars they will actually be acquiring. I do actually think you need another factor, and that's where the Middle East and other sovereign countries come in. There are several countries looking to make Bitcoin legal tender, looking to actually make Bitcoin part of their sovereign fund. You got a lot of the Middle Eastern countries with like hundreds of billions of potential money coming into crypto, and crypto is actually going to need that if you want the ROI this time to be as big as the ROI last time. Of course, the total value, the absolute value will be much, much bigger, but we're really talking about the ROI right now. So to get it above 200,000, you need Qatar to be buying 30-40 billion. You need Saudi Arabia to be buying just as much. You need Dubai to be buying that. Fortunately, these Middle Eastern countries are hubs of crypto innovation, and I think they will be able to at least make up some of it. Now, like I've said before, some people are saying Qatar is going to buy $500 billion worth of crypto. That would easily take it over 200,000, but they're not going to do that because that's their entire sovereign fund. The question is like, how open are they to doing this? These countries are not going to be bullied by the IMF or the BIS. If they really want to invest in crypto for their long-term future, they definitely will. And I definitely think like that's the X factor here. It's not so much BlackRock and Fidelity anymore. After the first month, seeing $3 billion or more than $3 billion AUM for both BlackRock and Fidelity, and that's discounting like a week of possible trades. We know how much BlackRock and Fidelity will actually buy in, and that's a lot. That's going to easily take us over $100,000. But the Middle Eastern countries specifically are like kind of the X factor here, because they could be bigger than BlackRock and Fidelity, or they could invest nothing. Right now, it looks like they're definitely not investing nothing, but are they going to buy tens of billions of dollars? That's the question. Like a country like El Salvador, yeah, they're heavily adopting into crypto. Argentina, people are leaning into it there, but those countries don't have much money. The Middle Eastern countries, the monarchies with the oil, they have the money and they could pump us up to kingdom come. So that's the real X factor right now. Also, we have news from Russia, and if the Russian government's known for one thing, it's corruption. And we have this saying that almost all pyramid schemes in Russia are crypto related. Now, Russia is kind of in a conundrum. They need to control crypto for these pyramid schemes, but they also desperately need crypto as a funding source because they're basically storing a lot of useless Chinese yuan and Indian money right now. And they can't really use that outside of India and China. So they actually need another means of commerce with other countries, and crypto could be it. But them actually allowing crypto so liberally will actually get them into a lot of scams. The Central Bank of Russia counted 5,735 financial scams and 2,944 pyramid schemes in 2023, up big time from the year before. And of course, the scams are now intervened with cryptocurrencies. Now, the Russian government is going to blame, the bank is going to blame cryptocurrencies, but the government is not going to be in such a hurry to shut down cryptocurrencies because they desperately need crypto. And I think like the citizens actually demand crypto. They might want to shut it down to where like citizens can't really do anything with crypto, but the government can. But that generally doesn't work because you have a lot of corrupt people within the government like that are probably participating in these schemes and trying to funnel money out of Russia. See, it's like the citizens are actually going to have a really hard time funneling money out of Russia. But like the oligarchs, they have different ways too. They can probably put it in like private Swiss bank accounts and all that stuff. And like the Russian bank has said, in 2023, almost all pyramid schemes and illegal brokers offer investments in internal tokens or accepted contributions in cryptocurrency. Crypto is appealing ingredient, giving the promise of anonymous transactions, which is not true. The Russian government can definitely track Bitcoin transactions. In total, the central bank identified 2,944 crypto pyramid schemes, adding up to 150% growth from the previous year. So Russia is actually kind of in a conundrum with crypto. They desperately need it to fund their country, but they also are going to have a lot of pyramid schemes. And the thing is, like, the Russian oligarchs and the Russian government officials themselves are probably involved in those pyramid schemes, so they're not very likely to completely shut them down. So I'm not really sure how they're going to solve this. Hopefully Russia comes out with a good solution and does not just outright ban crypto for regular people. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.